Now that's what I call a wide field of view. Now notice as this car drives past, you can't even tell where the two images get stitched together. It looks like it's all one continuous image. Man, oh man, am I excited. I've got this Reolink Argus 4 Pro security camera, and it boasts some very impressive capabilities. The goal of this video is to put it through its paces and see how well it actually works. Reolink did send this out to me free of charge for review and testing purposes, but I get to say and do whatever I want to. So let's get going. Now I'm installing the Argus 4 Pro over at my parents' house because at my house I already have a Reolink PoE system. As you can see here, this is 2 of 16 cameras. I've had this system installed now for 5 years. I bought it with my own money and installed it myself, and it's been working flawlessly for 5 years now. I absolutely love it. So this is a sneak peek, I think, of the quality and the longevity that Reolink can provide, even without a long-term test on this Argus 4 Pro, which we're going to do. Let's unbox this Argus 4 Pro. Documentation, some mounting templates, stickers. Here we've got this beautiful, huge solar panel. Here is the mounting bracket. We've got a strap here for something. Mounting hardware. Piece of uniquely cut foam. Peel off the sticker and stick on the bracket. Piece of metal. Guessing this has something to do with mounting. Gotta say, this unboxing experience is quite the thing. There's so many layers and cool things. Here's the camera itself. Kind of cool looking. A little space agey. Another strap, another bracket of some kind, USB Type-C cable, and another bracket. And a few more pieces of hardware. For those of you curious, like I was, what these straps are used for, if you look in the manual here, you are able to strap the camera up. So in their case, I like the little graphic here of it strapped to a tree. So you just take this security bracket right here, and you can screw this to the back like this, and then you're able to run the strap through that. Obviously put the strap through before you screw it on. and then you can wrap the strap around larger diameter things like a tree or something like that, and you don't have to drill into it. So that's kind of cool. Alright, just a quick pro tip here. I'm mounting this solar panel using the strap, and anyway, this little metal bracket works great on the solar panel mount to run the strap through and get mounting support for the solar panel with the included strap. Here's the completed installation. So in this particular scenario, I want to try out these straps because I've never experienced a security camera with this kind of mounting system. So I just strapped it to a downspout. Then I've strapped the solar panel just below that. Pretty slick installation. The solar panel is facing due west, so it's only going to get sun during the later part of the day. And so let's test and see if it's able to maintain a charge sufficiently over the next couple of days. I'm optimistic that it will, but as you can see, it's in full shade and will be in full shade for more than half the day. Setting the camera up is super easy. Just scan the QR code, configure with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, power on the device. It'll tell you when it's ready to go, and it'll ask if you can use Bluetooth. Go ahead and accept. It'll automatically connect, and then you just enter your Wi-Fi information, and it initializes everything. You create a password to be able to log into the device. You can go ahead and name it whatever you want. There's some guidelines on where to place it and where not to place it, and you're done. Now that's what I call a wide field of view. Now notice as this car drives past, you can't even tell where the two images get stitched together. It looks like it's all one continuous image. It is officially nighttime. We've got a little streetlight illumination there, but other than that, it is pretty darn dark. So if we approach this camera, it is able to detect the motion, and it turns on the spotlights so that it can capture a better image. So here, as I'm walking away, we switch to the camera view. You can easily see that and the illumination that provides. Now, can we just appreciate here for a minute the very impressive color night vision and low light performance of this camera. Having the street light helps substantially. I recognize that. If you compare the angle from the camera that I'm using to record this audio with versus the video from the security camera, you can see what a major difference there is. Now we're going to test the camera's video quality in various lighting scenarios. So what we've got here is this chair put out by the street. As you can see, we've got a piece of paper on that has a faux license plate written on it. And this first test is in direct sunlight. And that chair is about 40 feet away out there by the street. So if we crop in, you can see that it's pretty much impossible to read what's on that piece of paper. Moving it to about 25 feet away from the camera, again with direct sunlight, it's hard to see anything. Cropping in, you can see that it's still no visible text. Now this is about 10 feet away, again sunlight directly shining on it. And cropping in, now we can see what is written on that paper. Same test now, but without direct sunlight. 40 feet out by the road, difficult to see. And if we crop in, start making out a little bit of something. 25 feet, cropped in, now we can actually read it at 25 feet. And of course 10 feet is a piece of cake to read. Okay, same test as before, but this time it is nighttime with no spotlights turned on. So as we can see with the text out by the road about 40 feet away, you can't see it or read it even when we crop in on the image. At 25 feet it starts to improve a little bit, and when we crop in here you'll see that it is starting to become a little bit legible, and at 10 feet you can fully and completely read what is written. And now we've got the spotlights on, and the chair is at 40 feet away. As you can see, it's difficult to read. If we crop in, nigh to impossible to read what that says. And 25 feet, now it actually starts to get legible. If we crop in, you can actually start seeing some of those larger characters. And of course, at 10 feet, very, very clear. Starting up at the top, we've got the siren button. And I'm going to walk over here closer to the camera so you can hear when I push this. The little flashlight button there turns the white lights off and on the camera. This little view here gives you a multi-view if you have multiple cameras. In this case, we just have one, so we're going to leave it on the single view. We'll go into the settings here momentarily. Then below the image, we've got the play and the pause button for controlling viewing. We can turn on the audio and off. Check on the audio. Check on the audio. So there you go. You've got some feedback going on because again I'm standing right under the camera. You can take a snapshot and that will save to your phone's photo reel. You can take a recording, an active recording on your phone, and it will go directly to your phone's photo reel or video reel. Then here you can adjust whether it's clear streaming, which is the highest quality, or you can change it to a lower state of streaming so that it uses less bandwidth. The talk button here, let's push that. I can hear from the camera and the camera can hear from me. This is what the speaker on the Argus 4 Pro sounds like. And this is what the microphone of the Argus 4 Pro sounds like. Tapping the playback button brings you to this view where you can go through, watch, and play back any recorded events that the camera has captured. But all you gotta do is find the one you want. Let's go with this one right here. And there we go. We can see the event as it happens. In that case, it was a car driving by on the street. And let's just jump into the settings. On the display settings, you get to customize your stream settings. You can customize, where the camera's name is located. In my case, I like it where it's at in the bottom right. And then you can change the date from being in the top center to somewhere else. I think I'm going to change that to the bottom center. You can toggle the Reolink watermark that's there in the top left corner now off and on here. I like it off. You can mask out different things if you don't want to, view certain areas. You can adjust the brightness and shadows. I'd just leave that on auto. On the advanced setting, you can change the image stitching and offset it slightly. Personally happy with the default, so I'm going to leave it with that. Audio section, you can toggle the audio off or on, and we'll leave that on with the max settings. We've got the light options, and what we're going to do is leave this on auto. We can adjust the sensitivity of its sensor. I'm going to leave it defaults for now. And see how it behaves over time. On the detection alarm, you can create parameters for different detections and fine-tune things to minimize false alarms and what have you. I'm going to enable the camera recording. You can set up push notifications, email alerts. Down here you can share the camera. If you just tap on that, it goes to a QR code and allows people to scan it and add it to their app. Cool time-lapse feature. And in the advanced tab here, you can lock it out if there's too many attempts with the password, and obviously change some of those parameters. And that is pretty much the skinny of the app. And just a quick update on the battery life. It has been installed now for a little over 48 hours with my solar panel facing basically directly west under the eave of the house, with it only getting exposed to direct sunlight for about 2 hours each day. It's managed to keep the camera going even with all my extensive tests. It charges it back up about 40% with that 2-hour chunk of time. So as you can see right now, I'm at 40% state of charge. It's the middle of the afternoon, so the sun has not been shining on it yet at all. We'll go up to like the 70% range state of charge once the sun hits that panel. I may need to adjust the solar panel positioning, but I thought I'd just give you guys the report on battery life with that panel only being exposed to 2 hours of sunlight. So what do I think of the Argus 4 Pro? Well, I think it's kind of the holy grail of 100% wireless battery solar cameras. The coverage that it gets you is incredible. It's like 2 cameras in one. It's incredibly accurate with its detection. I have yet to have false alarms, and I've had wind and trees moving back and forth. You can't beat the 4K quality. I love Reolink's app, and then let's just really give Reolink a pat on the back for not forcing any subscriptions or anything like that. Just buy a product, put it on, and everything about it works. If you get the product bundled with the solar panel, it goes for a little over $200 typically. Then combine any sales that they might be having, and Reolink always seems to have some kind of sale or coupon or something. At the time of making this video, Prime Day is happening, and there's some significant discounts that are going to be taking place with this camera, so be sure and check that out. But as always, I want to hear from you, so be sure and leave thoughts and questions and ideas in the comments. I try to read all of those, and I try to respond to as many of them as I possibly can. What do you think of this camera? Do you think it's as cool as I think it is? And please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you can't tell, these videos take a lot of time and effort to put together. I enjoy making them for you and just putting them out on YouTube where they're 100% free for you to use and enjoy. And the only compensation I ask in return is something fast and easy and free from you. And that's a simple like, a subscribe, and I'd love to have a comment from you. All right, we'll catch y'all next time.